Yeah.
Okay, you're holding on too high. You want to seat? You want to sit down?
Just tell me what?
You want to sit down?
No.
No? You don't. Okay.
The passenger appears to have organised his trip to Australia at the last minute. That's unusual for most tourists.
And you only booked your ticket, what, 3 days ago?
Yeah.
3 days ago. And you got your visa yesterday?
Yeah.
Do you know anybody in Australia? No. Have you got any telephone contacts to call anybody? Nobody.
Officer James arrives and takes swabs from the passengers' bags to test for traces of drugs.
It's the same bag. I'll just do this bag for now, and then I'll do.
You want another one?
I'll do the other one on these persons.
Okay, I'll do this first. It's reading for heroin.
Customs needs to know exactly how this passenger's bags came in contact with this illegal drug.
So what can you tell me about this bag? Do you use heroin?
No.
Well, there's heroin been in the bag. We know it has.
It's damp and early morning in Western Sydney, and immigration officers are running through the day's operation at a nearby market farm.
We'll approach the front of the premises, and basically, when I give the go, we can go in. You guys just walk onto site. You just walk on this side of the house, you guys walk on this side of the house, and just try to talk to people who are there.
They've been to the same property once before and found 4 illegal workers. Today, they expect to find 2 people working without visas. As the team leader briefs the property owners, officers guard the perimeter of the farm. Suddenly, workers are seen running into the surrounding fields.
Runners, we got runners!
Yeah, go, get on now.
Sydney's mail centre, each and every package is screened by a customs or quarantine officer. Today, Customs has picked up an unusual X-ray image of the contents of this box.
It's come from Thailand. It's going to a Sydney address. It says a doll. You can see the outline of a doll there, but you can clearly see in the doll when you play around with the X-ray that there's either something on top of the doll or something in it.
Officer Scott has a hunch about what's inside the toy, but there's only one way to find out.
Could be vitamin, could be other types of medication, but it could be anything you won't know until we get it in there and have a look.
Scott has the package opened by Australia Post and takes it to the customs testing room to find out what's inside.
So we're opening up the box and there's a doll. As you could see on the X-ray before, there was something either on top of the item in the box, the doll. There's nothing in the box, so obviously it's got to be concealed within. So, yep, there you go. Obviously, if there's a hole in the bottom, you can see some type of ampule or something.
Do you use heroin?
No.
Well, there's heroin been in the bag. We know it has.
It is my friend.
Whose bag is it?
It's my bag.
It's your bag?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's for a long time.
Had it for a long time.
A positive heroin reading off this passenger's bag has Customs suspecting he could be trying to bring drugs into Australia. So Customs X-ray any items that could be concealing contraband.
It's pretty normal, mate.
It's just really waiting.
Yeah, it's normal.
So when did you decide to come to Australia?
About 2 days ago.
A few days ago. Okay. Now, you left South Africa how long ago?
Huh?
How long ago did you leave South Africa?
How long I stayed there?
Sorry? How long were you living there?
I don't live there. I was staying there for 2 months.
2 months. Okay. Then from South Africa?
Kuala Lumpur.
Kuala Lumpur. And where did you stay in Kuala Lumpur?
Where did I stay?
Sorry, where did you stay?
At my friend's place.
Sorry?
My friend's house.
Who's your friend?
Detector.
So Victor lives in Kuala Lumpur?
Yeah.
You told me before Victor works for your uncle in Holland.
Yeah. No. He lives in Kuala Lumpur. We work together.
Where's your uncle live?
In Holland. He lives in Holland.
Right, and how do they work together? What do they do?
I think they're the same business. I think.
The same business. And what does Victor do?
I think he's a property also.
Sorry?
Property salesman.
You think, did you say?
I think.
You don't know? So he's your friend and you don't know what he does? And he works with your uncle and you don't know what he does?
At Sydney's mail centre, on the X-ray, Customs Officer Scott noticed 5 unusually shaped bottles in a package from Thailand, declared as a doll. Now he has discovered what's concealed inside.
There's a hole in the bottom. You can see some type of ampule or something, and it's a anabolic. So 75 milligram, 75 mil. It's come from Thailand, and there was 5 in there.
These prohibited steroids would be highly sought after on the black market.
A lot of people think that this isn't a dangerous type of drug, but obviously it is. The sad part is people who inject it trying to get the perfect body, but then the side effects are that they get roid rages where they lose control of everything and take it out on a partner or family or friends. So it's not a very good thing to be having on the street.
And over at Melbourne's mail centre, 2 more suspicious packages from Thailand have been intercepted.
They've been declared as books. So looking at the image, they look as though they're actually cutouts inside books. Certainly one of them looks like steroids, but we won't know until we actually open the packages up.
Yeah, get on now.
It's been a difficult start to an immigration operation in Western Sydney, with workers running in all directions as soon as officers arrived.
Daniel, we got a location, one guy still running there.
Now officers comb the property for people hiding in the fields.
I saw someone run up here and all the reeds are flattened in one spot, but it looks like they've pulled them over themselves. Basically 3 metres in front of me.
Meanwhile, another team has located a woman, and the officers will now need to confirm her identity and legal status. But it's not going to be easy.
What's your lady speak? She doesn't want to say a word.
Over in the field, the officers have found the runner who tried to hide within the reeds.
No, seriously, mate. No. Share. Come on, please. Sit down. No, mate, just sit down, mate. Mate, you've already gone for a run, mate. Come on.
In customs, officers are questioning a passenger who, in the last 3 months, has been travelling the world with limited funds. He could simply be backpacking on a budget, but customs suspect there's more to his story.
What did you do for work?
Nothing.
Before you left to go to South Africa?
Before I came to South Africa.
Yes.
Nothing actually.
What do you want to do when you leave here?
I live here. I go to my hotel.
Do you know where the motel is?
Yeah.
You do? Where?
The one?
Where is the motel? Do you know where it is?
My hotel?
Yes.
I need direction.
He's very vague on details, and officers also discover he only has around $300 for his 2-week stay.
With the money you're carrying, you really can't afford to live outside there. Okay, in Sydney. Okay? You don't have enough money. You have no credit cards. No. So when are you going to get some more money? How are you going to get your money?
As soon as I reach my hotel, I call my uncle and then he send it.
Do you have your uncle's number?
Yeah.
Where is it?
I don't have it with me, but I have it on my phone somewhere.
Your phone?
Officers are increasingly concerned exactly how this passenger is funding his trip, and another swab is taken from his belongings.
Another reading for heroin, just off the clothing this time. Another one. The last one was positive again.
Yeah.
The luggage appears to be empty, but after another positive heroin reading, officers believe something could be hidden within the bag itself.
Handles won't go down.
Speckled in there, but that could be, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like packaging, but it's a bit speckled for some reason. I don't know what that is.
Right, we'll have another look.
So sit down, please. Okay?
Two suspected illegal workers have already attempted to flee an immigration operation, and now officers are trying to determine their identity, but they are not getting a lot of cooperation.
You just want to tell me the deal, but how old is he? Yeah, get us in.
Well, did you say the name or this?
You see it?
Con幾多歲都冇用啊！
我知道。
Yeah, they're just refusing to even say their name, let alone make any progress on identifying whether they have immigration status. Of course, they've actually attempted to abscond, so obviously they are of interest to us.
If officers are able to locate where the man lives, then they may be able to find documents that could help identify him. The man suggests that he lives off the property, but after getting permission from the owner, the officers enter the house and discover that he actually lives right there. After a brief search, there's a breakthrough.
Is that him? Yeah, that's him, isn't it?
It looks like they have found a photocopy of his passport, so through an interpreter, they try to verify his details.
This passport expired in 2005, so you must have been here before that date, not just this year. Is that correct?
It's becoming clear the man has been living here illegally. Customs officers have identified several suspicious bottles concealed inside boxes posted from Thailand.
Okay, the two images here appear to be cutouts within books. This one over here, these two vials are a typical shape of a steroid type bottle that we see all the time here. This one's a little bit more different. The image is a little less unclear as to what it is, because that's not what I would normally expect to see as a steroid. But until we actually open them, we won't know exactly what's in there. I'll go out the back at Australia Post to open them for me, and we'll actually have a look and see inside and see what we've got.
And what Officer Mark discovers when he opens the box confirms his suspicions.
They've actually concealed them quite well. They've been commercially wrapped and sealed in plastic. So that's number one. And we've got exactly the same, but again, it's been commercially shrink wrapped.
Supervising Officer Sean will photograph the packages for evidence.
It's ampules of sustanon, which is a steroid.
It's a known steroid to us, so in that case, we won't even be doing any of the NIC testing or street lab to confirm what it is, because we do know what it is.
They've seen this kind of steroid many times before, so they unwrap the second book, which on the X-ray appeared to contain some strangely shaped bottles.
Labelled as anal wart treatment.
Somehow I don't think we'd go to this much trouble for some...
Anal warts treatment, but we might have to do testing on that one.
Customs is taking a closer look at a passenger's bag after it tested positive for traces of heroin.
Apparently it won't go down.
They take a second look on the X-ray, which will reveal if anything is concealed within the lining.
Yeah, no, I think it's all right, Jed.
The bag is clean, so they shift their attention back to the passenger, who claims his trip is being funded by an uncle and a mysterious man named Victor.
Has your uncle been to Australia before?
I don't know. Maybe.
How old's your uncle? Don't know how old? So Victor works for your uncle?
Yeah, they used to work or they work.
Okay.
At least they are friends.
They're friends.
Yeah.
How old's Victor? Young like you or?
No, he's older than me.
Older than you? Like your uncle?
Yeah, up to that age.
And he lives in Kuala Lumpur, Victor?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long's Victor been living there? How long?
I know.
How long in Kuala Lumpur has Victor been living?
I don't know.
I don't know.
The passenger's struggling to give a straight answer, so officers ask him a very straight question.
Inside you? Alright, we'll find out.
How many years have you been here in Australia and how many years have you been unlawful?
1年啊，7年咯喎，非法啊，唔可以做嘢啊出嚟啊！
We've had a bit of a breakthrough in the situation. What we've found is we've found some documents related to the fellow, and the gentleman we have spoken to is doesn't seem to have a visa at the moment. He's been here for quite a while.
Interpreter, can you just ask her if she's got anything else?
The female worker is still not cooperating, but officers are aware of her identity and are certain that she does not have a valid Australian visa. Both of the workers will now be taken to New South Wales head office for a formal interview.
Grab a seat.
Some unusual medicinal cream has arrived at Melbourne's mail centre, and customs officers are about to test it to see if it is actually a prohibited substance.
Labelled as anal warts treatment.
treatment.
No, shrink wrap plastic.
It's been commercially packaged.
Some of the suppliers have the ability to have the shrink wrapping machines to make it look like it's professionally wrapped, you know, professionally sealed. And even though it's labelled as anal warts cream, why would you go to the effort of something that's just a topical cream for warts to go to the effort of hollowing out a book and putting it in there and concealing it that way?
Officers Mark and Sean take the cream into the testing room. Only a small sample is needed for the street lab to do an analysis of the substance.
Yep, that's plenty. That's plenty. Right, Mark, you can go and run the sample.
Okay. Bingo. Sean?
Okay, so there's ephedrine and methamphetamines and androstenedione.
It's definitely steroids.
So it's steroids, but it's also boosted with amphetamines and ephedrine. So it sort of like gives them a high and gives them a pump, whilst they're using the steroid, which helps promote the production of testosterone in the body for the bodybuilders to, you know, pump themselves up.
In Sydney, customs officers have mounting concerns for this passenger, who has had strong heroin readings from his belongings. He has travelled movements through known drug trafficking countries and a story that has few details. His belongings have all checked out, but now a frisk search will be conducted to see if he's concealing anything on his body.
Do you understand? Okay, a male officer will run their hands over your clothing. Okay, you don't have to remove any clothing. Okay, do you consent to the search? You okay with the search?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. A male officer will come and perform the search, okay?
Have you got anything else in your pockets?
Like?
Anything in your pockets? Just get you put it on the table. Just
turn around sideways for me, that way. Turn around. This way, thank you. And just your legs further apart.
At Sydney Airport, an Australian passenger returning from the USA has caught officers' attention with some strange behaviour.
He's sweating, he's walking up and down, he looks very stressed and very uneasy.
The passenger seems to have given some unusual information on his passenger card.
Is there a reason why you've written hobo on the back of a legal document?
Yeah, well, I'm not technically employed. So.
Yeah, but hobo is not an appropriate
And you
word,
put
is
unemployment
that?
or?
Unemployed?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, this is a legal document, sir. Okay, this
Earlier, when Officer Kylie started talking with the man, he made a startling admission.
Once I began talking to him, he just stated that he'd been in America and served time in jail for drug trafficking.
So the officer mentioned to me that you were arrested while you were overseas in America.
Correct.
Why were you arrested?
For international drug trafficking.
For,
I don't know.
For drug
I
trafficking?
don't know, I was never told.
So what do you think you were arrested for?
I don't know.
So
it was never stipulated.
So how long were you put in jail for?
4 days and bailed out.
Of the thousands of packages sent to Australia by mail, it's the ones carrying food which can pose serious threats of disease or pest contamination.
So we've got a parcel that's come through here, and it seems very consistent with the food. There's the shapes of food there. They could be nuts or dried plant material or maybe pulped fruit or something there, but this is a very interesting image here. It actually looks like little animals. You can see the little skulls there, so that's very curious to see what's actually in this parcel here.
The package has arrived from Burma, and the declaration states that it contains dried fruit and
Myanmar.
fish.
Now that's definitely not dried fish, so I'm not sure if it's actually live or if it's actually dead, but they're definitely little animals in there.
Either way, it may pose a severe disease risk, so the package will have to be opened. New Zealand citizens visiting Australia are usually granted a visa when they land. But as this dairy farmer is about to find out, it's not always that easy.
This passenger's flown in from New Zealand today. He didn't tick yes to criminal convictions on his passenger card, and he admitted that he has served 12 months in jail.
Officer Raylene needs to determine why he ticked no to criminal convictions.
Oh, just not very good speller, and I got my partner's dad to fill out the form out, and he's marked no for a criminal background, and it should be ticked yes. Just a simple misunderstanding, I hope.
Now, you actually consented to us contacting the New Zealand police and obtaining a copy of your police record. Unfortunately, with New Zealanders, once you have spent 12 months, and it is just the 12 months in jail for, it doesn't actually matter what type of crime, you actually are not eligible for the visa that the New Zealanders obtain when they come to Australia. Now,
This is bad news for the passenger, but maybe even worse for his anxious family, who are waiting for him outside and are expecting him to join them for an important family occasion.
So now I need to assess whether you'll actually be a danger to the Australian community, okay?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So it is serious what we're doing today.
A male officer will run their hands over your clothing. Okay, you don't have to remove any clothing. Okay, do you consent to the search?
Yeah.
Yes.
Previously on border security, customs officers have had mounting concerns for this passenger, who has had strong heroin readings from his belongings.
He's been in South Africa for the past, for 2 months.
Officers are completing their examination of his bags.
Yeah, no, I think it's all right, Jed.
Now a frisk search is being conducted to see if he's concealing anything on his body.
Your shoes. Just put these through the X-ray, won't do that.
Yeah, no, they look okay.
The frisk search of the passenger fails to locate anything. But with the many holes in the passenger's story, Supervising Officer Michael is called in to see if he can shed any light on exactly why this passenger is here.
So what's the purpose of your trip to Australia?
Relaxing holiday.
Relaxing holiday.
Yeah, to see how it is.
To see how it is. Okay. See, I thought if you were coming here, you'd have a reason. What are you going to do while you're here?
To see around, look around.
Look around at what?
I have to see them.
You have to see.
Yeah.
So basically, it's an unplanned trip to Australia.
Yeah.
Okay. So how much was your ticket?
The ticket up to 600, 700 to here.
That's what you paid?
Yeah, my friend paid.
Your friend. And what's your friend's name?
Victor.
Victor. So your uncle pays for your travel, but your friend paid for your ticket?
Yeah.
Right. Who paid for your hotel accommodation?
For this one. Victor.
Victor. What's in South Africa?
South Africa?
Yeah.
I have a friend there.
Okay. And what's your friend's name that lives there?
Lucky Mona, they call him Lucky Mona.
Lucky Mona?
Yeah.
Is that his real name?
I don't know.
Okay. What does he do for work?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No.
You get a lot of friends who don't do very much for work, do they?
Yeah.
Yeah? Feel all right?
Yeah.
Your eyes don't look real good.
Yeah, I'm a little tired.
You're a bit tired? How long was the flight?
7 hours.
7 hours. Okay. Have you taken any drugs recently?
No, I don't use them.
Have you taken any recently?
No, I don't use it.
In Brisbane, a New Zealand man could face having his visa cancelled because he has not declared his criminal convictions.
So what's the plan for the 7 days while you're here?
70th birthday party.
Okay, whose 70th is it?
My partner's great uncle's.
If his visa is cancelled, it would be a huge blow to his family, who are waiting for him across the border.
I don't know if you've ever seen your record.
Oh yeah, she's pretty bad with the car convictions.
Yeah, so unfortunately, yep, we have had the 12 months. There's a few concurrent sentences there for burglary and then just the assault charge there as well. All right, so we're talking 3 years ago. So were there anything going...
Yeah,
what was sort of happening back then? That...
I had a 5-year relationship with my ex-partner, and caught her cheating on me 3 times in a matter of 3 months. So I sort of started associating with the wrong crowd and shut her out, and then she kept coming back, and then things came to the end. I took her back, and after the 3rd time, and caught her again, and I lost the plot and had a chat a number of times in anger for an assault charge. And
so the assault was against her, was it? Or?
No, against the fella that was in bed with her.
So tell me a bit more about what happened over in America.
A passenger who told officers he was arrested for international drug trafficking has had his luggage tested for drugs. The result's negative, but officers are not yet convinced that this passenger is a legitimate traveller.
He may be involved in narcotics, or he may be carrying narcotics on his body or internally. That still needs to be assessed.
It's just, you're coming back into Australia and we just want to make sure that, you know, you haven't got anything now or...
Okay, no, I don't smoke. I smoke.
So is that what you were put in jail for?
I don't know what I was put in jail for.
So it wasn't for drug trafficking?
I don't know what that was. I don't know because I was never questioned.
You were never questioned?
No. They put me in jail and I was never questioned. So I don't know what happened.
Officers may not be able to get a clear answer from the passenger, but he's about to learn that any statement relating to drugs is taken very seriously.
I'm going to detain you for the purpose of a frisk search. Attention all units, any available 219 male officer, IT Bravo, please respond, Echo 4. This officer here will be conducting the search and I'll be witnessing. I'll get you to face me. Stand like this with your legs apart.
Deep in your shoes? No, take them all. No.
The passenger appears to find the whole process amusing, but Customs have checked him thoroughly and are now satisfied he poses no threat.
We did swabs and they were all negative. Even though his story wasn't very consistent, in the end, we came to the conclusion that he wasn't carrying anything on his body and it was very unlikely that he was carrying anything internal.
All right, thanks for your time. You're right to go.
At Sydney's International Mail Centre, Quarantine Officer Georgia is inspecting a parcel from Burma.
And there's the dried plant material, which we said we might find in there. That comes up as a tea, so I'll have to take a further look at that. That seems to be consistent with the tea, but we'll just have a quick look. See, that's not consistent with the tea. There's a hair packed in there, there's twigs, so it's unknown material, so I would say that would be an issue there. If it was just tea leaves, we'd say, okay, that's fine, but that's an issue with that there. That just looks like candy, so that's okay. There's the dried fruit. Yeah, that seems pretty processed. There's no seeds, there's no skin. It's from a store. That's not an issue, that's all right.
When the package was originally x-rayed, it showed that it contained animals. And now Officer Georgia may have located the area of concern.
Not quite sure, actually. Oh, okay, that's very interesting.
What did you do in Bolivia?
Bolivia, nothing.
Nothing?
That's holiday. Holiday.
Holiday? Which hotel did you stay at?
Yeah, we went to
Customs
clubs
are
and
continuing to
holiday.
interview a Dutch passenger. The officers suspect he could be involved in drug smuggling.
No hotel? Whereabouts did you stay?
at my friend's place.
Okay, and what's your friend's name?
They call him Victor.
Yeah, they call him Victor. Has he got a real name?
I think it's that.
You think?
Yeah.
Did you use cocaine in Bolivia?
I don't use it.
Did you use it in Bolivia?
No, I don't use that. So.
You don't use?
I don't use it.
At all?
No.
Okay. Did you take cocaine from Bolivia to South Africa?
No.
Did you take any drugs?
No.
Okay. You look like you're a bit affected by drugs at the moment.
I look like?
Your eyes look affected by drugs.
Is it? I look tired, huh?
Tired? It's only a, 8-hour flight from Malaysia?
Yeah.
See, our concern is that you've got drugs inside you, okay? And the problem is that our concern is that if something is inside you and it leaks, then it could kill you, okay? So if you do, it's probably better that you say something, so that, because I'm concerned about your eyes, if that's affecting you, then that's going to cause you a bit of a problem. We'll have to call an ambulance.
I know what you mean, but I don't...
No?
No, it's too dangerous.
Too dangerous?
Yeah, you can die of it.
Okay, it's David at the airport.
Immigration Officer Raylene
good,
is
yourself?
consulting with Supervisor David and Airport Manager
Okay, how are
Kay
you?
on speakerphone.
We've just got a BCNC here today. I've just interviewed. He's served 12 months in prison for burglary, and he got a concurrent 9-month sentence for assault with intent to injure.
And while immigration officers make their decision, the passenger is left wondering if he'll be allowed to join his family today.
It would be pretty important spending time with the 2 kids and my partner and her family as we're getting married in April, so it'd be good bondage. So yeah, just pretty hard really, pretty nervous. Yeah.
Okay, so as I had said in our interview, because of your 12 months prison sentence, you are not eligible for the subclass 444 visa that New Zealanders receive. So under law, I must actually refuse that visa today.
There you go.
Quarantine officer Georgia has made a most bizarre discovery at Sydney's mail centre.
They look like dried rats.
They have arrived in a package from a remote area of Burma.
I have never seen anything like it. And because they've put it on as food, I would assume that maybe it's food. Maybe it's a delicacy from their village. I'm not sure. That is absolutely amazing. I have to admit, really glad I put my gloves on for this one. Yeah.
Rodents, dead or alive, aren't allowed into the country.
It's definitely something that is of immense quarantine concern because of the diseases associated with bringing rats, live or dead, into Australia. Well, so you can see this has actually even got an insect in it. So we don't know what infestations it actually has. The rat disease commonly carries trichinosis, and it can actually be quite detrimental to human health, depending on how long the symptoms can not be treated. It gets into the central nervous system, which can actually cause death.
These rats aren't worth the risk. They'll be destroyed by quarantine.
Although we do get a lot of people who are quite ignorant to what they can bring or, can't send into Australia, can or cannot send into Australia. But this is extremely unusual, especially if you think that someone's going to actually eat this.
Rat meat is considered a staple food by some Asian and African cultures. Rats are favoured over other meats due to their low cost and wide availability.
You don't use, but are you carrying any drugs?
No.
No? Definitely not?
Definitely.
Okay. Nothing in your stomach?
This passenger is still maintaining his innocence. But if customs suspicions are correct, then there is serious concern for his safety.
His general appearance is not real good. His eyes are very, very bloodshot. I brought up with him that fact that if he does have something inside him, that he should say something so we can get an ambulance and get him off to hospital. But he's still going along the lines that he's got nothing. How much money you got?
Little. Not much.
Not much?
No,
so have you got a credit card?
No.
So how will you get more money?
After when I call my uncle, he's want to send it.
Okay. Where's your uncle's phone number?
I have to call Victor first, and then he give me the money.
So hang on. Your uncle pays for all your travel. This time, and Victor is a friend of your uncle. Victor paid for your ticket to come to Australia. And in order to get your uncle's phone number, you have to ring Victor.
Yeah, because I don't really remember my uncle's number.
You don't remember your uncle's number? Can't you write it down?
No.
Well, you got a mobile phone. Why isn't it in there?
Yeah, I forgot to put it inside.
Huh?
I forgot to write it down.
Ah. We'll close this up, and this officer will look after you, all right?
He will now be escorted to an interview room and the Australian Federal Police will be called.
Because of your 12 months prison sentence, you are not eligible for the subclass 444 visa that New Zealanders receive. So under law, I must actually refuse that visa today.
A New Zealand dairy farmer had plans to join his waiting family for an important family occasion. However, immigration has now cancelled his visa.
Today. So I'll just hand you your notice of refusal letter there.
But there could still be some hope.
Further to the fact that we are refusing this visa today, I did mention to you that I would discuss with my duty manager and airport manager the possibility of inviting you to apply for a border visa. I think that you have shown some compassionate and compelling reasons behind your convictions. So under those circumstances, I am going to invite you to apply for a border visa today, which will allow you entry to Australia to attend your family functions and have a holiday with the family. Okay? But I mean, you should be a little bit more relieved.
Okay. Yeah, it's all positive, thank goodness. Otherwise I'd be packing my bags and heading home.
The passenger's family and his new partner are now told the great news.
We've decided that we'll be lenient in his case. But all the circumstances added up, we're going to let him in.
Good.
Yeah. Teddy's coming.
It was a good result. He seemed like a really nice guy. He turned his life around. There were some issues that he had in the past which led to his, doing some jail time. He seems to have matured. Yeah, he's taken a bit of responsibility for himself now. So yeah, it was a good result. Yeah.
That all worked out in the best. Just pays to fill out your forms properly and do your right bit of paperwork before you leave. So, that's all right, I'll enjoy myself. Hey, buddy.
Customs suspect this passenger, just arrived from Malaysia, could be trying to smuggle drugs into Australia, and he's now taken into an interview room for further questioning.
He goes to all the drug source countries of the world, and we've got readings as well for heroin. So going on those, if he's going to have something inside him, which there's a really good chance he has, it'll be heroin.
The passenger confesses to nothing, but there's enough evidence to refer him to the Federal Police, who take him away for an internal examination.
Hey buddy, come around. Findy.
A few months ago, amongst several boxes that arrived in one shipment, Canine Officer Luke made a very significant find.
Good boy, good dog. Very good response. That's a positive indication to that box.
Luke has just discovered a drug concealment of almost 2 kilos of cocaine, with an estimated street value of over $1 million.
He's a good boy.
The demand for detector dogs in agencies both in Australia and overseas has grown remarkably.
In Customs, they've been a valued assistance for over 30 years and been responsible for many thousands of illicit drug interceptions.
Australian-trained Customs detector dogs are amongst the best in the world, and these puppies at the National Detector Dog Breeding and Development Centre in Melbourne will be trained to find narcotics, firearms and explosives.
These Labradors have got a very serious job at hand, and whilst their hunting skills is very much a game, what they find is very deadly serious.
In Brisbane, 2 men have arrived from Malaysia, and immigration suspect they might be here for more than just a holiday.
So we've got 2 Malaysian gentlemen that have come on a flight from Brunei this morning. They were spoken to behind the primary line just to talk about their purpose of travel to Australia today. They were quite vague with their descriptions on what they're doing. They gave us the name of a gentleman they're coming to visit, but only one of them knows this person in Australia.
Now, Mr. He, can you tell me why you have come to Australia today?
Because watching here with Australia. I like to visit my friend.
To see your friend? Yeah. And what was the reason for him asking you to come over to Australia?
He asked me to come over. He wants to show me around.
Thanks for that. Now, how long were you intending to stay in Australia?
7天左右, 7天. About 7 days.
Oh, okay. Do you have family in Malaysia?
Yeah.
A wife, children?
Yeah.
Does your wife know that you've come to Australia?
知道. Yes, she knows.
Okay. Now, your friend that you are travelling with, now how do you know him?
2 years ago, he restaurant there. After we talk.
Okay, so you met him at the restaurant where he's working?
Yeah.
So is he still working at the restaurant?
Yeah. He working in this restaurant. Yeah.
But you don't know the name of the restaurant?
Officer Gillian is in the next room interviewing the passenger's travelling companion about a previous visit to Australia. The officers will later compare their notes, so the men better hope their stories match. The growth of purchasing goods on the internet has meant a huge increase in items coming into the country through our mail centres. Some think it's an easy way to import prohibited items.
We've got this parcel here. It's come into us from Thailand. When we look at the image on the screen, you can clearly see that there are several firearms.
Officer Phil decides to have the item examined by trained firearms officer Sean.
Well, what we've got here is a assault rifle BB gun. fires the plastic BB pellets. And as you can see, there's a high content metal, so it looks very much like the real thing. Has similar weight, but it fires these plastic pellets. It's got a battery, so it looks like it might have an electric feed, so that when it's firing BBs, it can fire in automatic mode, meaning round after round is shot.
Digging deeper into the box, the officer makes another disturbing discovery.
Oh, got a whole cachet here.
These puppies have been specially bred to become customs detector dogs.
Their actual training and conditioning starts the moment they're born, the moment they're brought into the world. This selective breeding program, we select the right genes and we apply the right environment from birth through to training to allow them to express their genetic potential.
These dogs have been bred to become working dogs and to protect Australia from, of course, narcotics, firearms and explosives. What we want from these dogs is, of course, to have a wonderful hunt drive, really good temperaments, and, of course, have a very, very good retrieve drive as well.
The dogs need to be confident in the outside world, so part of their training includes fostering them out to families.
The puppies go out to their homes at 8 weeks of age, and they stay out in the homes till they're around 12 months of age.
Hi, Maria.
Maria is a dedicated puppy minder and has had Zeke for 12 months, but now it's time to give him back.
And his evaluations.
I'm just going to miss him so much. I love him
It
so
will
much.
take Zeke a few more months of training to graduate.
Bye, Zeke. Zeke, bye.
One dog who has just graduated from training is about to get his first real run on a passenger suspected of carrying drugs. An experienced drug detector dog has already reacted strongly to this French passenger.
What's happened at the moment is we've had a fairly strong dog indication at the primary line. We've processed the passenger at the primary line. We've brought him through. I've had a bit of a chat to him. He's basically started with saying that he's never touched drugs in his life. I've basically got him down to he's just had a smoke of cannabis before he's got off the just got onto the plane, which happens a lot in this scenario. So we brought him through. We're just about to have his bag searched, and we're going to take it from there.
Customs want to see if the new dog will detect the same odours picked up by the experienced dog.
Not all drugs smell the same, and it just basically opens the dog's parameters up a little bit more, and just helps it improve its search technique a little bit further down the track. All right, we'll just get you to wait there. All right, we're just going to get another dog, okay, to come over and search. All right. No, that's fine. No, that's fine. I'll just get you to stand here like this for me. All right. Won't be a minute. All right, we'll get the dog.
The morning flight from China has arrived at Melbourne Airport. It's a high-risk flight for quarantine officers, as many passengers try to bring in food they think can't be purchased in Australia.
Here we've got a non-deck passenger. Haven't declared anything on their incoming passenger card, but their bags, 2 of their bags appear to be full of food. We've got some tins here that have got food in them, a pot here that's got something in it that needs to be looked at, and then just some other scattered food through here. So I'll go have a word to her.
But it soon becomes clear communication is going to be a problem.
Is this your card? Did you read this one? You can't see. Do you have glasses? You don't wear glasses? We open this one. They're eggs, which are prohibited to be bought in. These are just preserved eggs that have been vacuum sealed. I'll just show you one inside. So that's just a preserved egg, and that's how they come in. And they do quite frequently travel with them. Very high risk. Any poultry, especially eggs, chicken, any meat products like that, very high risk coming into Australia at the moment in regards to the situations overseas with avian influenza and risk items like that.
With the bird flu epidemic in Asia, these preserved eggs have the potential to wreak havoc on Australia's bird population. They're a very popular Chinese snack, but Nadia is about to find something a little less appetising. At the Melbourne Gateway facility, customs officers have intercepted 2 packages from Thailand containing replica assault rifles.
Cachet here.
But it appears one package contains a lot more.
2 more 6mm BB pistols. It also appears that in the same parcel, we've got 2 butterfly knives and what looks like could be a flick knife. Yep, spring-loaded flick knife. It's even got a little torchlight in there.
The dangerous weapons are worth a lot of money, and someone could be facing more than just the prospect of losing these items.
This will most likely be referred to our investigation section because not only are there assault rifle style BB guns, as well as the handgun BBs, but you've also got 3 butterfly knives and 1 flick knife.
Do you know anyone else in Australia apart from Mr. Guo?
Immigration is interviewing 2 Malaysian passengers who claim they're here for a holiday. But officers are concerned they might be here to work.
August 2006.
Mr. Wong is admitting to some work he did on a previous trip.
And what sort of work did you get to do in the restaurant?
帮他做什么样的工作呢？
帮忙那时候切一些菜，切一些肉。
Cutting hand, cutting the vegetable, cutting meat.
Okay. And how often did you work there?
几天呢？2、3天这样的。
2 to 3 days.
A week?
Yeah.
This means that Mr. Wong had broken his tourist visa conditions. And immigration have good reasons to believe both men plan to do the same thing on this visit. Mr. He's told immigration he and his travelling companion are here to stay with a friend.
Mr. Wong that I've been interviewing doesn't even know the name of Mr. He's friend. When I asked what else they're doing here, he just said, I came with another friend, so I'm going to follow my friend. He really has no idea what they're doing here in Australia.
Mr. He doesn't either. He was just going
The
to meet up with...
officers have the details of Mr. He's local contact. But when they try to locate him, they get a curious result. Officer Rachel presents Mr. He with his friend's response.
Hello, Mr. He. Thank you. Now, I'll just let you know that before I called Mr. Guo to go and talk to him when he was waiting for you, but he didn't want to meet with us and he drove off.
Oh, go already?
Yeah.
Oh.
He said that he didn't know who you were. He was picking you up for another friend, Mr. Wong.
He know me, he know Mr. Wong.
The decision is made for another officer to contact the men's relatives in Malaysia to see if they can provide any more information.
Glenn has contacted Mr. He's wife. She has no idea why her husband is here and that she knows nothing. She's completely just denied knowing anything about why he's here or even if he was here and wouldn't answer any other questions.
And it's the phone calls placed to Mr. Wong's contacts that prove most telling to immigration.
My colleague contacted Mr. Wong's employment for us to confirm his job, and he's now resigned. She then called the wife's phone number that the passenger has provided us, and his father has answered the phone. When we asked about his son's wife, Mr. Wong's father advised that Mr. Wong is actually single, that he's not married. Evidence is actually stacking up against Mr. Wong at the moment, so it's really not looking good for him. And hopefully some of this information might be able to get him to open up to us some more and actually tell us the truth of his travel to Australia.
At Melbourne Airport, Quarantine has discovered preserved eggs, a very high-risk item. And on further examination, Officer Nadia has made a somewhat unsavoury discovery in the passengers' bags.
That one seems to be some sort of caterpillar or bug of some sort. It's been pickled and preserved. Okay, the caterpillars are prohibited as they are an insect or an animal, and for any meat products or any insects, they have to come in under certain conditions, and just preserved like that. Especially meat products, meat products have to be canned or in a retort pouch. In any other form, they're prohibited to come in.
As she's about to seize the eggs and the caterpillars, Nadia decides to have another go at explaining the situation to the passenger.
So this question here, this one, must tick yes.
But just as they seem to have reached an impasse, help arrives.
So are they travelling together?
Yeah, the husband and wife.
That's husband and wife. And where did the husband go through?
That side.
Over that side.
What's happening here? So now the wife is here.
Can you explain to them that all this food, any food that they bring into Australia, they need to declare it on their incoming passenger card? This food, the eggs, are not allowed to come in. It's preserved eggs. So for that, you could get a fine for $220. Okay, so today I'll give her a written warning, but if she comes through again and she brings the same items or any other food items and she doesn't declare it on her card, she will end up with a fine.
A rookie drug detector dog is about to get his first real test on a nervous French passenger.
Classic indication is the dog will actually become a little bit more frantic, become a little bit more excited.
Sit.
And that was basically enough for us to tell us that the dog has indicated that there was a target odour in the area, and yeah, we just took it from there.
Do you want a drink of water? You all right? If you have nothing on you, you have nothing to be worried about.
Officers are preparing to conduct a frisk search when the passenger makes a startling admission.
What do you have? Just a joint? One joint. Okay, and where is it?
That's why I don't want to say to you.
All right, okay.
If you want to give, I give you out, but I don't want to see me. I'm making my...
All right, no, it's got a joint, all right? So I might get you guys to cautioning. Yeah, okay, Sabrina?
I just need you to listen to what I'm saying, okay? I'm going to caution you. You do not have to say or do anything, but anything that you do say or do may be used as evidence. Do you understand this?
Yes.
You understand? Can you repeat to me what you understand of this?
All you say to me is, I understand what all you say to me. That I don't...
You do not have to say or do anything.
Yes.
Anything that you do say or do
Yes.
may be used as evidence.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay, yes.
You understand?
Yes.
All right, Betty, it's just where it's located in your underwear, is it?
No, it's my...
In Brisbane, immigration officers need to determine if these two men arriving on tourist visas intend to work illegally. And Mr. Wong helps the officers out with a crucial confession.
The person who came with me, and he has a friend over here. The friend is running a business, so he also mentioned that if you come here, I can offer you a job.
While Mr. Wong admits he's here to find a job, Officer Rachel confronts Mr. He about the phone call to his wife.
You claim your wife is aware of your travel to Australia. However, when contacted, your wife denied that she knows of your plans to visit Australia and any activities that you will do here.
我太太说
Is that what my wife said?
My wife tell me?
Yes.
He just know.
It's now clear that both men intend to breach their tourist visa conditions, and immigration officers have a straightforward decision to make.
Mr. Wong, we have decided to cancel your visa today. I am satisfied you did not have, at the time of the grant of the visa, an intention only to stay in or visit Australia temporarily for tourism purposes.
I have now cancelled your visa. As you are no longer the holder of a visa, you have been refused immigration clearance and will be removed from Australia as an unlawful non-citizen.
These officers will just, they'll take you in the interview room, okay? All right? And they'll have to chat to you, all right?
What I will have a prison or no?
This French passenger is anxious about what will happen to him now that he's confessed to carrying drugs.
So I thought it was not a problem here. I took just one job.
The officers will have a talk to you when you go in there, okay? All right? He's basically admitted to us that he's got a quantity of cannabis resin, which is commonly known as hash, and he's basically got that firmly inserted between his butt cheeks. So what'll happen now, we'll take it off to the interview room and we'll give him a body search and just make sure he hasn't got any more that he says he has. And yeah, we'll finalise the process in there.
Inside the room, the passenger is anxious but cooperative.
We'll detain him or frisk him.
Yeah, okay.
He's just worried that we're going to cancel his visa and send him back now.
Okay.
The passenger removes a tiny block from his body and customs call in the Australian Federal Police.
He's a lot calmer now that he's removed it. Still a bit nervous because he's not quite sure what's going to happen to him.
The Federal Police interviewed the passenger at length, but because the quantity of hashish was only 0.003 grams, the passenger was cautioned and allowed to go.
Then they say to me that if they find me another time with drugs, I will go to prison, I think, to jail.
I think in the back of the mind he'll think twice about doing something like that again. A silly move at the end of the day for the amount of gear that was found and for the amount of torment he's gone through over the last sort of half an hour or so. Yeah, I think he's learned his lesson.
It's been a great first day for the rookie and all the training looks to have paid off.
We're very happy the way this has happened today. Look, the significance of the seizure in a customs perspective isn't that great, but for our dog unit and our dog's development, yeah, it's a really good seizure. So, yeah, a great result for the dogs.